Welcome, 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 everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. And of course, I am your host, DBoss. And I'm just telling everybody for the holidays, we wish you all happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, whichever you celebrate. I'm just wishing everybody the best for 2025. You know, some people didn't make it, some people did. And the ones who have transitioned on, we wish them all, rest in peace. A lot of the people there. So we just have to just keep going on and keep lifting our spirits. And I hope that everybody's been doing their 15 minutes more of laughing, because that has been helping a lot of people. Around the holidays, it's stressful. You're trying to get this, cook that, baked all on time. So what you can do is just start to laugh. Laughing releases all those bad endorphins in your body. Those releases, it lowers blood pressure. It helps reduce stress. It also makes you feel good. Also, it's free. It's good for your soul every day to be laughing. And if you have a real stressful job, I'm suggesting that you have to do a little bit more. You can't do 15 minutes. And don't tell me that you don't have anybody that you can laugh with, because you can call somebody. There's so much streaming available. You can put something funny on. And also, it's also available for all ages, so not just one age group, so your whole family can participate. Yes, it's going to hurt if you're laughing for about 10 or 15. Your body's going to hurt, but that's okay, because it'll lose some of those abs. And I'm not saying that you have to stop going to the gym, but that's helpful. So we're going to be start the new year good. Everybody just, good vibes. How you start your day is how you're going to finish it. And, I'm wishing everybody all the best. But today we got somebody on here that's pretty savvy and we're going to find out all about him, what he's done, how he came up to wanted to do what he does. So with no further ado, we're going to introduce to you David Mullings. He's the founder and the chair of Blue Mahoe Holdings.
Thank you for having me, DBoss. Blue Mahoe in the building.
Mahoe. Yeah, I know. And everybody, I guess some people will know who you from, but here at Real Life Matters, we like to know everybody's cultural background, where they come from.
Well, Jamaica, and that's where the name comes from. Blue Mahoe is Jamaica's national tree. It does grow in other parts of the Caribbean as well, but it is our national tree.
Okay, so Jamaica's a big place, so you don't have to say specific your address, but which part? Because people
I am from Kingston. I am from the capital, but that is from Montego Bay. Yeah, that is from Mobe, and Mom is from a part of Clarendon called Alston is where Mom is from. So,
okay. Well, thank you for that clarification, because people say, "Well, he said Jamaica, but what part?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to be very specific. It's big.
It's not like some of the other islands, which are smaller.
No names being called, but sometimes smaller is nicer. I have to admit that.
Okay. All right. So can you tell us, what is Blue Mahoe Holdings? What does that company do? What do you do? What does that do?
Yeah, so Blue Mahoe was created to give retail investors outside the Caribbean, especially members of the Caribbean diaspora, a way to invest back home. 10 years ago, Jamaica Stock Exchange asked me to speak at their annual conference, January 2014. I'd served on this Jamaica Diaspora Advisory Board, advising the Prime Minister of Jamaica and the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. And so the idea was to explain what would it take for someone like me to invest back home, not just send more remittances. And I told them it's really 5 simple things, and it doesn't matter if it's Jamaica or Brazil, Botswana, or Malaysia. As far as I'm concerned, when it's a developing country, we all have the same opinions once we leave. Number one, we do not trust the government at home. It doesn't matter which political party is there, there's a certain amount of distrust. There's a trust deficit.
He said it, okay, people? Yeah. You go after him, okay?
He says, "We say, hey, we just call it a spade. We have to keep it real."
Okay.
And so that was number one. We don't want a diaspora bond. This is not Israel where we're supporting the country. The governments run businesses into the ground. And so we want a private sector-led initiative, number one. Number two, it should be run by someone from the diaspora who goes back to the home country, more than those who moved away and not gone back home. You need to know who to do business with, who not to do business with, and how things really run on the ground, but also how the diaspora now thinks a bit differently. We're not smarter, we're not better. We think differently based on living abroad now. That's all. Number three, it has to be partnered with a financial institution in the home country that's known and trusted outside the home country. We have to avoid the Bernie Madoffs, the Alan Stanfords, the Olins, the Cash Plus. That's just the way it is. We have a trust problem. And number four, we're to domicile it. I didn't want that it would be domiciled in the Caribbean. As much as I love our British-based legal system, and we have good jurisprudence, it tends to run on Caribbean time. And island time don't work for us when it comes to business. So domiciled in the US, Canada, or UK, right? Efficient court systems. And then lastly, and most importantly, it had to be something that the person with $100 could invest in, not just a person with $100,000. It cannot be just for the 1%, just for accredited investors. So not a hedge fund, not a venture capital fund, not a private equity fund. We felt that it needed to be something like Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, a holding company that could invest in private companies, in public companies, in real estate, in private credit, and it could have across the Caribbean. And it would go public, it would be listed. So people would have something that's transparent, that is audited, regulated, and liquid. And then it would be easy for them to buy shares in that company and get exposure to the Caribbean, knowing that their money is having a positive impact in the region while generating a return for them. It's a way to do good and do well. So that's what we focus on building. And we start with 4 countries: Jamaica, Barbados, Bahamas, and Guyana as our 4 Caribbean tigers. So that's what we've been building over the last 6 years.
Oh, so it's for 6 years. Oh, I thought you were going to tell me you're doing this for like 10 or 14 years.
No. The idea is 10 years old, but the concept didn't actually start. We didn't launch anything until 6 years ago with friends and family. And then we created what's called a special purpose vehicle, Blue Mahoe Capital Inc., and that is what's going public on NASDAQ in 2025.
Wow. Okay, so you say you started with friends and family, so you have
yeah.
I think you have some pretty prosperous friends.
No, you start small, you know. You start small is my parents, my brother, my money, and 2 friends. So we start with just us first with $15,000, 15,000 US. Test it, set up the account in Jamaica, make some investments, see how hard or simple it is. And then now based on that, we then scale. We raise 250,000 from now, broader group of friends and family, some doctors, some nurses, and some people in Jamaica that have done well in the business, whether they run public or private companies. Then we went even broader and we raised another 1.1 million and got it going. So we've created a vehicle that is now separate, and that is what's going after the races based on everything we've learned over the last 6 years. We've transferred some of the investments into this vehicle as well. But yeah, we're excited. We went out to the friends and family. It was mainly 10 to 50,000 checks. Yes, we got a few people that did 100,000. One person did a 200,000 check, but for the most part, it was 10 to 20K that people did. And usually what happens, as you know, when you meet one person, you prove it that one, you're actually trying to do the right thing and you have traction, right? You're doing it and you have traction. They then tell their friends, I'm saying, come to my house, I want you to come to a dinner and meet 5 people. And we Caribbean people stay there. My boss and tell everybody, me invest in this cinema there for meet David. One time, I was on Bloomberg, everybody walked me at their house for dinner. So they can invite their friends and say, you see him on Bloomberg? I'm my friend, come to the house and meet him.
Well, now you can see him on CaribVision and BellFibe. So
exactly.
So are you located in Canada or are you in Jamaica?
I love that. So I'm in Florida, between Florida and Jamaica. Yeah, I am. Our office is in Miami, in Brickell. We have a number of team members in South Florida. I'm also in Orlando. And then we have an office and 3 team members in Jamaica. And then our chief investment officer is based in the Bahamas. So that's where we are right now. We will expand to Barbados in 2025. And we're excited to get that side of the things going.
Right. So a lot of people are in Florida. So you guys I guess you're not worried about the storms and stuff, or you are in a place where...
Well, Orlando is in the middle of the state, so we tend not to really get hit by hurricanes. South Florida is where you want to worry. And so knock on wood, we've had a very active storm season that just passed. Man, real wood over here. Yeah, man. Well, as somebody that grew up in the Caribbean, hurricanes don't scare me. I'm not really bothered by hurricanes, to be honest.
Okay. All right. So so for people that if they're in Canada, can they do stuff with you also, or is it just
Not yet. They have to wait until we go public on the NASDAQ early next year, and then anyone around the world can invest. So right now, we got SEC qualification. So when you apply to the SEC to raise money, they qualify the offering. They don't approve it. Right? They're very careful about the word they use. They qualify to say it meets all our rules, and so you can go out and raise. So on May 8th of this year, we became the first US-based company to ever be qualified by the SEC to raise money from regular people. So anybody can invest $10 a share, $500 minimum to invest in the Caribbean. Nobody's ever created a business that got qualification from the SEC to go to the general public to invest back into the Caribbean. So we're excited.
Okay, so this is to invest back into the Caribbean, not basically lending or anything like that.
No. We're actually buying equity in businesses. We lend some of the money, but we are buying shares in public companies, in private companies. We're building affordable housing in Jamaica, Barbados, and Ghana next. And we earn profits, and then we're going to pay dividends to our shareholders, right? It's just like you own a share in Blackstone or BlackRock or Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company.
Okay, so what is the like example of a rate of return on their money? Like, do you have like a set rate or just?
I love that you asked. So no, when you buy equities, you don't get a set rate, right? That's like asking if you buy Apple shares, what's the rate of return?
Okay,
we don't know. We aim for a number, right? We want to target 15% return per year, so we double the money in 5 years. If you generate 15% a year on your money, you double the money in 5 years. But it could go faster, it could go lower, right? It's the share price is going to be determined over time by the value we create with the business, the profits that we generate. So there is no guaranteed rate of return. If somebody wants a guaranteed rate of return, we are willing to do a bond offering. We do intend to launch a diaspora bond early next year that will be targeting US, Canada, and UK. So that's a fixed rate of return, 8% a year, 5-year bond. And that's fine. But, as we know, you don't get rich from fixed low rates of returns. You create wealth by owning equity in something and then watch the value go up while preferably getting paid to wait. In the case of Berkshire Hathaway, you didn't get any dividends, though. So you didn't get paid to wait. You just let Warren Buffett and his team invest the money, grow the business over time, and you saw your shares appreciate significantly since 1980, for example, to now. And we're just doing the same thing. We're taking Warren Buffett's approach to investing and bringing it to the Caribbean and making it available to everyone who can just buy stock around the world.
Well, I'm asking a question because, some people, they get intimidated when you got guys like you come in front of them, like the and the fun.
And we want to help them not be intimidated, right?
I know. That's
the most important thing first. Because we can't create wealth if we get intimidated talking about investing. You need to invest to create wealth. You can't save your way to create generational wealth. You have to invest, which means you need to understand what is investing. How do I know what investing is, right? What am I investing in? All these things people need to feel comfortable about and not have somebody with some highfalutin words and showing off for them. That's not the way to do it, right? We want to bring it down to a normal level so everybody can feel comfortable having that conversation and feel included in the conversation. This is not just for rich people. All of us can invest.
Okay. Yeah, because the reason I asked that question, because a lot of people sit up there, oh my God, I can't do it. I don't know what to do. And, and I guess sometimes the Caribbean folks, they don't realize. I was just talking to somebody today and I was saying that, what happened? A lot of the Caribbean people came out to Canada, US, wherever, England. And I guess their family members have sent them, to come out here, but they didn't come back.
Yeah.
They didn't put back into the countries, and they just left. And they said, "Well, you know what? I'm living over here now." But people are still.
They said they were going to retire back to Jamaica or Barbados, right? I'm going to retire back home later. And then we realized that, well, if you didn't invest back home, is it going to be just as good for you to retire back there?
Or is your house going to be still there, or the family house, because nobody was paying for nothing?
Exactly. So invest back home, and you never know. We are guests in these countries, right? One wrong election, and you can pick up and move.
Yes. So when you're talking to your people out in suppose maybe in Jamaica or something, I guess for them to understand, sometimes I guess you got to speak patois.
Yeah. Well, that's not even in Jamaica. That's here in the States. We're going to talk patois. Nobody. Yeah, man.
Listen, we're not here to take your money. You know, everybody taking the money.
Yeah, man. I don't want to ask for the money. I want to be off for the money.
We got David. You know, somebody named Mullins there told me to invest.
Yeah, no, hey, man, that's exactly what happened, man. And they reach out to somebody at home. Yeah, man, this guy claiming.
Go check it out.
You ever hear about him? And then they Google me, thankfully. They say, "Oh, that's who I'm working." No, man, I have to jump in, and that's usually what happens. They Google me and say, "Oh, you're working with Michael Leachin?" Yeah, man, you know, I need to talk to you.
Oh, see, you're working with them. Okay, see, hey, we get something out. See, people will get a little something out. You're working with Michael Leachin. Yeah. So
yeah, Michael is our key advisor.
Verifiable.
Hey, you literally see a magazine cover story. Mike and myself, he has never done a magazine cover with anybody else except with me. So wow. I think that speaks volumes about how he thinks about me and the plan that we put together, how integrally involved he is in the plan as well. And we're excited to have someone like that who has done it before and done it multiple times to provide a framework that we can then use and go forward, right? He's done 7 different companies he's been affiliated with that are worth at least $1 billion US. 7 times.
Okay.
I think we can listen to him about how to invest. Yeah.
Yes. So is he there most times with you, or is it just you? That does the
no, it's just me. Yeah, we'll do events together in Jamaica, and he's
in Jamaica. So you don't do anything while you're in Florida, but I guess he comes up there if need.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't really come to Florida. He hardly comes to the US. He was in Miami a year ago, and we're at an event together. But for the most part, he's doing things in Canada, and then doing things in the Caribbean. So we'll speak with people in Jamaica, for example. We did a conference together. Back in July, I spoke, he spoke, and then we did a fireside chat as student and teacher in person, which was a lot of fun. The video is on YouTube. And then in general, if we're doing something, he will hop on, we'll do a webinar or a Zoom call, and he'll be on there to talk about, why he's interested in what we're doing, why he's supporting what I'm doing as well, and why the Caribbean matters. Right? We do a lot of videos together, or he will send content that we can then share. Here's why I'm investing in the Caribbean. Here's my experience in the Caribbean. Okay. Here's why I support Blue Mahoe. Right? We want to make sure that it's not dependent on his time. His time is extremely valuable. Let's be honest. It's more valuable than mine, certainly. And I don't want to try and pull him into my thing full time. And he has his stuff still going. He has his business he's running and his funds that he manages for his own investors. So he needs to deliver for his investors and make them wealthy. I need to deliver for my investors. It so happens that Mike also is part of what I'm doing, but he trusts me to actually execute, right? We lay out the plan, we talk every week, I meet with the CEO regularly as well, and then it's my job to execute and report back to him. Here's where we are. Here, the bottleneck.
The key. It's execution is the key, that you deliver what you're saying, and then you get that, that's the thing. If you don't execute nothing, or if people are coming on to hear about what they're investing in, because you only got that small little window to keep everybody like boom.
You know it. You know it. It's no different from your show, right? You have a window to get everybody interested and then keep them interested. And that's what we focus on doing. And that's why the financial literacy part is so important, right? He has taught me a lot about wealth creation. So I tend to lead. We did an event in Atlanta a few months ago. And what I told everybody is that I'm going to share everything I've learned from Michael Leachin with you guys, right? A multi-billionaire who looks like us, who sounds like us, who moved to Canada in this case, moved to an overseas country, I made it.
You're in the wrong place. You're over there in the wrong place, David.
No, man, I'm not freezing.
Oh, that's true. But they do have
in Jamaica. I'm not freezing. I'm not freezing. I'm good. I think I'm in the right place. I'll visit you.
Okay.
I'm not living there though. I have family in Canada, then Toronto, then Mississauga. God bless them. They want to come and see me right now. Right now, they want to come here. So, but
Wow.
that's the important thing, right? The minute I told everybody we did this presentation at Atlanta, we ahead of time we said, hey, I'm going to share everything that I learned from Michael Leach. You know them, so they show up. 30 odd people show up. We're not charging any money, and I spent time
Oh,
sharing with
okay.
them what I have learned from Mike. So at the very least, when they leave the event, you have pages filled with notes that made you smarter. Then we get to talk about here's how we are putting together what he's taught us. For
Okay.
me, this is what I am doing with his information. Do it what you want. This is what I am doing. And I get to talk about Blue Mahoe Capital. Some people in the room say, well, I want to invest. I'm a nurse and I don't have time to try and take his framework. I'm going to do it myself. If you're following the same framework and you have traction, can I just jump on your ship and sail with you? Sure. That's exactly, in my opinion, what you should do. You jumped on
We
Warren
have a
Buffett.
big cruise ship.
Yeah, man. Let's build a big ship. Build a big ship. And we're going to go. We can come back and pick up some other people, right? But the idea is that we need to do stuff together. When you look at other groups of people, whether it's the Chinese or Jewish people, they tend to first work with each other and keep the money
Yes.
within their groups first.
Yeah.
We don't tend to do that. You know, we have this carbon a barrel mentality. With what make them feel them can do that? Really? How about you just
Yeah,
support
it's
what we're
very hard.
doing?
It's very, but I think we're getting to break those barriers now. People are beginning to say, hey, you know what? We got to do something.
Yeah,
And
man.
you know what I
We
mean?
have
It's not
to
just
work
us.
together. And not just within Jamaican communities or Asian
Everywhere.
communities. The Caribbean need to work together. And then all black people, Africa, Caribbean, we need to work together because we are lumped together.
Yeah. And our DNA, everybody's going
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in
exactly.
history now, and we're seeing
Exactly.
where we're coming from,
It's
really
one
coming from
family.
where we came from the Caribbean, how we
Yeah.
got to the Caribbean, who are we?
Yep,
So
exactly.
back in time it was a different thing, but now it's different. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. I know what you mean.
All right. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give to your people?
Yeah, man, I need to give some shout outs. So you're going to laugh at this one. I'm going to shout out my cousin. It was just his birthday on Monday. So big up Donovan Bailey, the sprinter, one of my key advisors.
That's your cousin? Oh my
That is
gosh.
my cousin. So big up DB. Happy
Mhm.
belated birthday. We love what you've done to fly the flags, multiple flags high. And excited for that. So that's the first one, a key advisor to what we're doing and a big supporter. And
Wow.
I really appreciate that. And I want to shout out my cousin Stephen Mullings, an early investor as well. Stephen is in Toronto, a big lawyer up there. Really appreciate that support. You know, we have family that really stepped in and said, we love what you're doing. We're in. We support. How else can I help and open doors? I would say the most important would be my wife first. Catherine, my kids, Luke, Lila, Liam, they have to put up with me traveling like a crazy person.
Every day.
And then mom, dad, and my brother Robert. You know, dad
Oh my
and mom, Dr. Anthony Mullins, Nurse Mullins, and Robert. They were there from day one. They wrote checks. They've supported. My brother is now on board as my chief operating officer and continues to work in the business with me and help us to do due diligence and deals. Yeah, we did our MBAs together at the University of Miami, and we've continued to work together on a number of projects. So really appreciate that family support and that family unit. But I'd say my wife more than anybody else deserves the biggest shout out. Right? She has been there. We're married 17 and a half years now. So we've been through ups and downs together. And if somebody
Well, she
said,
hear you crying out in the night.
yeah, like, don't hear me talking in my sleep and come and say, you okay? Let me rub your head. What's happening? What's happening? She can know when I'm working on a serious deal because I talk too much in my sleep. So, yeah, man. But everybody, you need that person in your life that just you can be around them and say, no, let me help calm your nerves. We can calm your nerves. So those are the biggest shout outs for me.
Right. So those are the people that are important because people don't know you as the one that's sleeping next to you. No.
Oh gosh, they know everything, right?
They know everything.
When you're growing up, that's my mom and dad. Yeah. So and I love that we can have, those relationships and still have those people. We have friends from prep school who now work with me or on the board of my company. I have friends from high school who now work with us. I have friends from college who work in the company. And investors who have come from multiple countries, Barbados, Bahamas, Jamaica, Guyana, and who have been at prep school, high school, college. All of them. have invested in what?
Barbados, you can't say it ain't getting the preps from David Mullings.
No, man, no. We raised more money in Barbados in 1 week than I raised in Jamaica in 2 years. So
What?
Barbados to me is number one, Bahamas number two, Jamaica number three. Barbados is serious about their business, and I appreciated that when I went there. I love Barbados. I go there at least twice a year. Don't be surprised if I move to Barbados in 2025. I'm that in love with the island. I'm that into it. I drink pure Banks beer. I drink my Mount Gay rum. Don't worry. I go Eystons. I hang out. Oh man, Sheffet. As all I stop at Sheffet, you know.
Did you try the deputies?
Yes, deputies are nice. Yes, man. You have some nice things out there. I went surfing one time. I feel like they try to kill me. They take me to some extra. I see these waves. I say, guys, I know how to swim really well, but that don't look like beginner waves.
On the East Coast.
Bathsheba.
Bathsheba. Yeah, Bathsheba.
Yeah, man, it's kill me out there. No, man. I thoroughly enjoy Barbados. You go whole town and we go eat at some nice places. Now I'm very, very impressed.
Wow. Thank you for that, everybody. And I'm pretty sure CaribVision will be thankful for that, the tourism office. Also, so where can people reach out to you or find you if they want to invest?
So 2 ways. The easiest way is islandforward.com. We're moving the islands forward. So if you go to www.islandforward.com, everything is there. You can see our offering statement that was qualified by the SEC. We have a nice set of frequently asked questions. You can fill out the form. You can get more information. And we're excited to get this listed on NASDAQ next year and become the first Caribbean company listed on a major U.S. stock exchange. That is what we're going to be doing and making history. And then give all of us a way to invest back home in a way that's transparent, regulated, audited, and then liquid. Nobody have to call and say, Mr. Mullings, I want to get back some money. I want to buy a car. Just sell some of the shares. You're good, right? You get a report every quarter. We have annual general meetings. We're excited to do that. And we can't wait to also then have other people bring some of their islands to us and say, hey, this is happening in Grenada or this is happening in St. Kitts. You should look at this. Great. Let's expand beyond the 4 Caribbean tigers after we go public next year.
You want to St. Vincent and St. Lucia and those other
all of them. I know Belize want us to come. There's so much opportunity. Turks and Caicos talking to us already. We met with the premier there. Now I have USVI costing me how I don't come USVI and I fight them out. And I need to come to the BVI. I was like, guys, whoa. There's a lot of islands. I can't get to all of you. Let's take our time.
No, yeah, there is. People think it's not that many, but it is when you have to travel to each one.
And then I'll hear some island that I don't even know. I was like, Mustique, where's this? Just guys, let's take our time. And I would love if I had access to somebody's yacht and I would just sail and stop at every single Caribbean island. Somebody else's yacht. Hint. That's
Make sure you get a good sailor or captain.
Yeah, that's not a really good captain. I agree.
But I welcome you to come back and let us know how everything's going, and also maybe you could give us some tips on how to be a savvy investor and stuff like that.
Happy to share tips. Happy to share tips anytime. I would say the most important thing is to understand what you're investing in. If you don't understand it, don't invest in it. Just understand it. Whether it's a company or a real estate deal, whatever it is, understand it and maybe explain it to somebody else before you write that check.
Right. And check the company to make sure everything is
man. Understand. They have to have your interest at heart. So you have to get to know them and understand, okay, great. Who else is in there? Why are you doing this? How do you get paid? And then we go from there.
Right. Well, you see people already calling him now to invest.
It's my lawyer in Jamaica calling me because we just sent some paperwork. We sent a letter of intent to acquire a stake in a business, an investment management firm in Jamaica, and she called me about that document. I know that's what she called me about.
Well, that's okay. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure, and I'm pretty sure everybody else, go. You guys want to find out anything more about David Mullins, Blue Mahoe Holdings? You guys just go to Island Forward, www Island Forward, and there you are. Moving the islands forward, but it's just, in this case, it's Island Forward. So thank you so much for explaining. Right, and what your company does, because probably a lot of people maybe didn't know, but now they're more aware of it.
No, and thank you for the platform. Thank you for representing us so well. And I love that it's not just Canada, you're across the US, Canada, and people in the Caribbean can see it. People in UK can see it. You're global. You think global.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. But anyways, thank everybody for watching tonight with David Mullings. Come on, everybody. Big him up. Go follow him. I know you guys are going to stare, so goodbye and good night for now.